Great to have you on the show, man.
Thanks.
First of all, I want to say thank you for following me on Twitter as well.
Absolutely. We've been working on my Twitter presence for a couple of years now, and it's a great tool.
Yes, it is. Very great tool. And it's really a shot in the arm when you get more followers.
Yeah, I know. I think I saw like a 10,000 follower bump in the past couple of days just from the transaction.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. It's a great honor to have you on the show. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Manhattan.
Very nice. How's the weather up there?
It's chilly. Sunny and chilly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, really, I'm just curious about what your job entails. Can you describe like a typical day for you?
I get asked that question a lot. There is no typical day.
Okay.
A typical day could be flying to North Carolina there and back like I did the other day, or it could be spent behind my desk working on things with Omaha or Richmond, or
Gotcha.
Could be spent working on things, my building services company.
Gotcha. So, all right. Is there a favorite aspect to your job that you have?
Yeah, I love I love being responsible for my building services company for 5,000 employees, and I love that I could work in baseball. It's my dream to work in baseball, and the fact that I can transition my job responsibilities more and more to that, it makes me very happy.
Got it. Now I saw you were the Storm Chasers are the AAA affiliate for the Kansas City Royals, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Do you have any sort of involvement with the big league club at all, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm friends with Dayton Moore and friends with J.J. Piccolo and Scott Sharp, who work with Dayton. I've gotten to know George Brett, Dan Glass and David Glass. So, yeah, we're the closest minor league team to the major league level. So, we need to have a relationship with them and just to make sure we're always on the same page. And our job. We at AAA, we enjoy winning, and we won 2 national championships. But first and foremost, our job is to make sure the Royals win. So even though we won 2 consecutive national championships, when the Royals made the World Series in 2014 and won it in 2015, that's a reflection on the whole organization, and we're part of that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. As an organization, you should be very proud of yourselves. So.
Yeah, no, actually, very, very much so. I agree. This will be an interesting year because if we're not, when I say we, mean the Royals, and we're not, if we're not in contention, there's a lot of free agent contracts coming due, and with the change in the negotiation, the contract last year, when you lose free agents at the end of the year, you don't get the draft picks that you used to.
Sure.
So. It should be an interesting deadline this year. It's going to be a lot different than prior years for all of MLB.
Right. So a little bit of a friendly rivalry here. I'm in Texas right now, but I'm originally from Michigan, and I'm a huge Tigers fan.
Oh, so Mike, your owner just passed away.
Yes, I was devastated. He was.
Yeah, no, he was one of the great owners, and like every year the Tigers. They would never want to rebuild because he wanted to win before he died. So I guess I don't know if that's going to change. The way the thinking is now to a longer perspective. But he was. I guess he won with the Red Wings. He won a couple Stanley Cups.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it should be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah. Basically, he turned the Red Wings into the Yankees of the hockey universe.
Yeah. I'm not much of a hockey guy these days, so only time for baseball.
So we talked about Mike Ilitch. Kind of along those lines, do you have anybody like in an ownership role that you look to as an influence?
That's a great question, and I think of that all the time. So I think Mike Ilitch is one. I think he was I like owners like him, like Mark Cuban, who are, in touch with the fans and love the fans being around, and kind of don't sit in their ivory tower of their owner's suite. And there's interaction, which is why I love being in touch with fans on Twitter. And any fan that gets in touch with me on Twitter, I'll always respond to them. And I make sure when I'm in Omaha, I do a couple of laps around the ballpark and make sure I see everybody, say hello to everybody. So, and I guess I like owners like that who are in touch with the fans. And I look back and see some of the things that Charles Finley did with the Oakland A's.
Yep.
So he took a lot of ideas that we do in minor league ball now and took them to MLB, and I think I like that, just an outside-the-box thinker. And, a big fan of Bill Veeck. Read his autobiography, and, he did some great things and creative things as well.
Got it. So it's just, are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a great time of year. I'm a Mets fan. My Mets look like they're back and healthy and ready to make a run. It's just a great time of year. Everybody's in first place.
So you're a Mets fan. Were you conflicted at all when your Royals faced them a couple of years ago in the World Series?
1,000,000%. 1 million. I also own the cleaning company I own. The Mets are one of our largest clients.
Okay. Yep.
And the Mets are the team that I grew up with. So it's hard. That doesn't go away.
Right. Okay. Cool. Now, when we talked earlier in the week, you mentioned that you had a big announcement. I read a little bit about it on Twitter, but I didn't really understand it. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, my group, Alliance Baseball, we purchased Baseball America.
Okay.
So Baseball America is considered the Bible of baseball in this country. It's one of the great baseball media brands.
Yeah.
And it's been a publication that needs management that's dedicated and loves the game like we do. And the folks down there, the staff, are very excited that we've taken over.
That's awesome. That is awesome. It's got to be
we're gonna make a number of changes there.
It's got to be a great feeling too when you see something like that come to fruition.
Oh, absolutely! Like we're all of a sudden we have one of the loudest voices in minor league baseball and Major League Baseball, and we're gonna focus. I'll keep that strong, and then focus on high school, a little more high school, more college, and just a number of changes there, and the support from the industry has been overwhelming.
Got it. You mentioned your involvement in the Major League club, like the Kansas City Royals. Do you have any involvement in the levels below you?
No, well, I also own a team in Richmond, the Richmond Flying Squirrels, and they're the Giants AA affiliate. So in 2014, the same conflict, the Giants played the Royals in the World Series. So, so that's AA, and I get to work with the Giants as well, and so that's my involvement, and I think as far as ownership, AA is the level we're going to stop at. I think single A we're probably not going to get to.
Got it. Do you have a preference of American League versus National League?
I grew up a National League fan as a Met fan in Long Island, New York. So I would say the preference is the National League, and I do like the game better with the pitchers hitting because there's more strategy involved.
Okay.
And while I don't like the injuries that happen to pitchers, that's the downside of it. The highlight of last season for me, one of them was Bartolo Colon hitting a home run. Well, that doesn't happen with the DH, and with all the talk of making the game shorter, the DH can make the game longer.
Yeah. So. Yep. And the fact that he was 42 years old when he did that. That is impressive. Yeah. Like, that's impressive for anybody, not just a pitcher.
It is, and when Kershaw hits home runs all the time.
Yeah. So it's just going to be, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Bartolo adapts to Atlanta. So.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think I think the Mets are losing an innings eater, and if they have any more injuries, they're going to miss him. But I think he wanted a 2-year deal, and they gave it to him. I think the Mets only would have done one.
Gotcha.
No, I think he got a 1-year deal. I think they guaranteed him a spot in the rotation. That's what it was.
Gotcha. And the Mets wouldn't do that, or
Mets wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, when you're his age and you're just looking for certain things.
Absolutely.
So we got about 4 minutes with you left. I mean, did you play at all when you were like in high school or anything?
I played. I didn't play high school ball.
Mm-hmm.
Played Little League, and then I played wooden bat in my 30s and 40s. So that was fun, and
gotcha.
So I really enjoy playing, but I don't actually get to play much these days.
Gotcha. So, you'd like to stick more to the business side of it. So.
Exactly. I'm 51 now. It's a little tougher.
Right. So, that's like. For me, like, I love the business side possibly even more than I love the game on the field itself. There's so much under the surface that a lot of regular fans don't get to see, and that's just one of the things that I love about this game.
Absolutely. It just once it gets in your blood, it just doesn't go away.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I love it because it's so different. I mean, basketball, football, hockey, it's basically getting to the other end and scoring.
Yep.
and there's no clock in baseball. That's one of the things I love. I enjoy the other sports, but I catch myself staring at that clock all the time.
Yeah. Well, look, baseball's the one sport. I mean, you think about the numbers and the records. Like, you don't need to, I could say 56, and you know exactly what I mean. I could say 714, you know exactly what I mean. 756, you know exactly what I mean. So, it's different that way.
Yep. It's a great game indeed.
Yep.
Any early predictions this year for World Series, or too early?
No, it's not too early. I'll tell you, I was going through this last night with somebody. So, I think the Dodgers win the NL West. I think the Nats and the Mets in the East, and one of them is the wild card.
Yeah.
Maybe the Giants, sneak in as a wild card, and then the Cubs obviously winning their division in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Red Sox. I think everybody else is kind of rebuilding in the AL East.
Yep.
In the Central, I think it's the Indians hand down. Everybody seems to kind of be rebuilding there. Hopefully the Royals can make a run.
Right.
And in the AL West, I love the Mariners. I love what they've done in the off season.
Yes.
So,
yep.
And then once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
I think it's the Dodgers' turn to win. I think it's Dodgers Cubs.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers make the World Series. And as far as the AL is concerned,
mm-hmm.
I love what the Mariners have done. I think the Mariners, Indians, Red Sox could easily be there.
Yep. And a small part of me wanted to see the Dodgers win last year just because of Vin Scully. He was retiring.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Dodgers they can't seem to put it together in the playoffs, but I think they're overdue, and everything I see them doing in the AAA level,
mm-hmm.
It's going to translate over to winning series in the major league level soon.
Sure. All right. We have Gary Green on the line with us. Gary Green is the owner of the Omaha Storm Chasers, AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Gary, thank you for taking some time with us, and I look forward to having you on again.
All right, great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Bye-bye.
All right.